Hello and welcome again to another instructional video, particularly intended for the students of Grade 10 Science in Luis Y. Ferrer Jr. West National High School. In this video, I'll be presenting some needed concepts on our science subject for week number 4, and of course focusing on the topic about types of plate boundaries. And in this video also, I'll be also presenting some guidelines in how to perform learning tasks 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, before we proceed to the concepts that we are about to present for week number 4, let us first have a short recall on the learnings that we have last week. So last week, we have realized that the Earth's lithosphere is divided into several segments known as plates. And a tectonic plate is a huge mass of land that move as a single unit. And of course, these tectonic plates interact with one another, thereby creating volcanic activities, earthquakes, and of course, mountain ranges. So on this picture, you can see again the examples of a plate that we have all over the Earth's lithosphere. We have the Eurasian plate, North American plate, Pacific plate, African plate, and others. Now, if we will try to notice, there are arrows here that are used to represent the plate movements. Say, for example, we have this one, the Eurasian plate. It is moving in this direction. So this arrow tells the direction where the Eurasian plate is moving. And then this one, this North American plate, it is moving in this direction, represented again by this arrow. Now, the question is, do all of the plates have the same movements? Do they move in the same direction? Or do they move in different directions? Of course, if we will try to observe in this picture, plates move in a different direction. If we will try to compare one plate to another, there might be differences between their directions of movements. And because of that, different types of plate boundaries are created. So for week number 4, upon performing of the different intended tasks, your target is to identify and describe the types of plate boundaries that we have. So in this next slide, I'll be showing 3 pictures that can also be seen on page 16 of the learning module. So first one is this figure number 1. If you can see there, these are 2 huge masses of land, or 2 tectonic plates. And these tectonic plates are interacting with one another. The arrows represent their movements. So these 2 arrows, this one and this one. And for their direction, you can see that the 2 plates are moving towards each other. While for figure number 2, again, there are 2 plates, another pair of tectonic plates. Their motion shows that they are moving away from each other. So in the first one, Figure number 1, in Tagalog, nagbabanggaan yung dalawang plates. For number 2 naman, it is the exact opposite. The two plates are separating or moving away from each other. Naghihiwalay sila. And for the last one, figure number 3, the two plates are neither colliding or moving towards each other, nor moving away from each other. They move in such a way that they only slide past each other. From that three figures a while ago, we can actually identify the three types of plate boundaries. So what are the three types of plate boundaries? So first one is known as divergent plate boundary. So in this type of plate boundary, the two plates move away from each other. So in Tagalog, naghihiwalay sila. For the second one, it is known as a transform plate boundary, or otherwise known as transform fault boundary. In this case, the two plates move past each other horizontally. They slide past each other. So, hindi sila nagbabanggaan or naghihiwalay, nag-slide lang sila sa isa't isa. And the last one, of course, is the convergent plate boundary. The last type illustrates that two plates are colliding. Okay? Two plates move towards each other. In this next picture, you can see there again the major tectonic plates. And these major tectonic plates, they have boundaries between them. And as I have mentioned a while ago, there are three types of plate boundaries: the convergent, divergent, and transform plate boundary. This figure is also the same figure that you will be using in learning task number 3, located in page 20 of your learning module, wherein you are tasked to identify what type of plate boundary is occurring in between a pair of tectonic plates. So let us have an example. Let's take the case of Pacific plate. So this one is the Pacific plate, and the Nazca plate. This one is the Nazca plate. And their interaction is represented by these arrows. You can see from the arrow that Pacific plate and Nazca plate, they are moving away from each other. So what type of plate boundary is that? So if your answer is a divergent plate boundary, you are correct. Pacific plate and Nazca plate are interacting in such a way that the plate boundary between them is divergent plate boundary. Another example. Okay, let us have the Eurasian plate. This one is the Eurasian plate, and its interaction with Pacific plate. So this one is Pacific plate, and these arrows represent their interaction. Now, the arrows are small, but I hope you can see the arrows. Now, based from the arrows, the direction of Eurasian plate and Pacific plate, they move towards each other, or they are colliding with one another. So, what type of plate boundary is that? So if your answer is convergent plate boundary, you are correct. So the major tectonic plates, since they are separated by plate boundaries, um, they interact with one another, and along these boundaries, different types of plate boundaries are observed or can be classified. So let us proceed right away with the different learning tasks that we have for the week. And these are located on page 16 to page 21 of the learning module. For learning task number 1, your target is to study pictures A, B, C, and D and describe each of them by rereading again the pages of the learning module in order for you to create answers. The four pictures illustrate the different types of plate boundaries. So in describing them, you just identify what type of plate boundaries are present. And of course, aside from identifying the plate boundaries, you also describe the movement of the plates uh, on the four pictures. Say, for example, in picture number A, or picture letter A, I should say, what is the movement of this one plate as compared to this plate? Are they moving away from each other? Are they moving, sliding past each other, or are they moving, colliding towards each other? For learning task number 2, you will just complete the chart. The chart is about the types of plate boundaries. This one. So we have three types: the convergent, divergent, and of course transform. For the second column, how does it look like? So you are tasked to draw. For convergent, one drawing only. Okay, you can use figures, just like the pictures that you can see on your learning module, or you can also use other figures that you can represent or that you can use in representing tectonic plates or huge masses of land. And of course, you try to describe them. Okay? Describe the plate boundaries in 3 words. So say for example, they are moving past each other. So those are 3 words and can already describe the plate boundary. So those are some of the guidelines for learning task number 1 and learning task number 2. For learning task number 3, so I have mentioned this a while ago in the video. Um, your task is to study the world map and answer the following question on a separate sheet of paper, or you can also use bond paper. So the question is, what type of plate boundaries exist in the following plate? So there are pairs of plates that are given there. Letter A is a Eurasian plate and Philippine plates. So you will just locate the Eurasian plate and Philippine plates in the picture, and you identify whether it is convergent, divergent, or transform. And then you write your answer. And same as true with the B, C, D, E, and F. Now, if you want a clearer picture, I will just send a picture on our messenger group, so you can actually see a clearer version of the movements of the different plates, the major tectonic plates. For learning task number 4, you are you will be answering a question. So if you are given the chance to become a cartographer or a person who makes maps, and you are asked to make a map, what legend will you use in order to inform the people about the location of different types of plate boundaries? And illustrate your answer. Not on the notebook. You can put your answer or write down your answer on a separate sheet of paper or a clean bond paper. So for learning task number 4, you may write an essay, and you can also draw an example of map wherein you will try to use figures that will represent the different types of plate boundaries. An example of figure is already given here. Yan, the location of plate boundaries. So this one, in this figure or in this map, the cartographer used arrows to represent the movements of the different plates. You as a student, if you will become a cartographer, what figures or what legends can you use in representing the different types of plate boundaries? Yan. You will just try to answer the question, and if you need to illustrate, if you will be needing to illustrate your answer, you can also draw a map just like this one. Okay, just like this one. And lastly, for learning task number 5, multiple choice learning task. So you are tasked to answer learning task number 5 by simply writing or the letter of your answer in on a separate sheet of paper or bond paper. So yun yung gagamitin natin, intermediate pad or bond paper lang, hindi sa notebook. Okay, so that's it, all of the learning tasks intended for the week. Again, thank you for your time, and if you have queries, questions, issues, concerns, and problems that you might encounter for the intended task for the week, my lines are open. You can message me on our messenger group or on my FB messenger account, and you can also text or call me if you have something to ask to, or if you have some issues and concerns with our week number 4 Science 10. So that's it. Again, I hope you learned something. And this is Sir Lambert, reminding you to stay curious and keep exploring. Bye.